Dear students, good morning to all. Hope you all are fine. We are continuing today's offline class with the transport of gases, and today we have the transport of carbon dioxide. That is how carbon dioxide is transported. When oxygen reaches the body cells, oxidation of food, that is glucose, takes place, during which carbon dioxide, water, and energy are produced. Carbon dioxide in gaseous form diffuses out of the cells into the capillaries, where it is transported in three different means. Number one, in dissolved form through plasma. About 7% carbon dioxide gets transported in dissolved form. It gets dissolved in the blood plasma and is carried in solution to the lungs. Carbon dioxide has high solubility than oxygen. Therefore, only about 3% oxygen is transported in dissolved form, whereas 7% carbon dioxide is transported in dissolved form. Number second, as bicarbonate ions. About 70% of carbon dioxide is converted into bicarbonate, that is hydrogen carbonate, and transported in plasma. Carbon dioxide diffuses in the RBCs where it binds with water, forming carbonic acid H2CO3 or hydrogen carbonate. Carbonic acid quickly dissociates into hydrogen and bicarbonate ions as it is unstable. The reaction is facilitated by an enzyme known as carbonic anhydrase, which is present in very high concentration in RBCs and in small quantity in plasma. The overall reaction is carbon dioxide plus water in presence of carbonic anhydrase enzyme gives H2CO3, that is carbon acid or hydrogen carbonate. Further, in presence of carbonic anhydrase dissociates into hydrogen positive and bicarbonate ions, that is negative ions. As we know, the partial pressure for carbon dioxide, that is PCO2, is high in tissues due to catabolism, that is breakdown of glucose into water, carbon dioxide, and energy, than in blood capillaries. So, diffusion of carbon dioxide occurs from tissues to blood, that is RBCs and plasma, where carbonate ions and hydrogen ions are formed. The carbonate ions HCO3 formed in RBCs quickly diffuse into the plasma where they are carried to the lungs. At the alveolar site, that is alveolar site of lungs, the process is reversed, means carbon dioxide and water are formed from bicarbonate and hydrogen positive ion. The reaction proceeds as bicarbonate, that is hydrogen carbonate, plus H positive, that is hydrogen positive ions, in presence of carbonic anhydrase produces H2CO3, that is carbon acid. Further, in presence of carbonic anhydrase dissociates into H2O and CO2. Bicarbonate ions re-enter the RBCs and bind with hydrogen positive ions to form carbonic acid, which then quickly splits into water and carbon dioxide. Finally, carbon dioxide is diffused from blood to the lungs, where partial pressure for carbon dioxide represented as PCO2 is low. Number third means by RBCs as carbamino or carbamino hemoglobin HbCO2. About 20 to 25% carbon dioxide is transported as carbaminohemoglobin. Carbon dioxide that enters in the RBCs forms a reversible compound, that is HbCO2 carbaminohemoglobin. Carbon dioxide binds with amino group of globin protein, which is a part of Hb. The reaction is similar to oxygen, but carbon dioxide binds not with heme part but with protein part of hemoglobin. Reaction is as Hb plus carbon dioxide CO2 gives HbCO2, which further gets disintegrated into carbon dioxide and further into Hb. Now, the factors that affect the binding of carbon dioxide with Hb in tissues: high partial pressure for carbon dioxide, that is PCO2, and low partial pressure for oxygen, PO2, in tissues are responsible for binding more carbon dioxide with Hb. Hb plus CO2 gives HbCO2. In alveoli, low partial pressure for carbon dioxide, that is PCO2, and high partial pressure for oxygen, that is PO2, in alveoli are responsible for dissociation of carbon dioxide from carbaminohemoglobin. HbCO2 gives Hb plus CO2. In this way, the carbon dioxide bound to Hb from tissues is delivered at the alveoli, where it is exhaled out. Under normal conditions, approximately 4 ml of carbon dioxide is delivered to the alveoli by every 100 ml of deoxygenated blood. Now, some questions. What is the medium of transport for oxygen and carbon dioxide? Answer, that is blood. What is the percentage of oxygen transported in bound form? Answer is about 97%. Which compound is formed when oxygen binds with Hb? Answer is oxyhemoglobin. Thanks.